Today we're just taking one day trip to some very special place I've been wanting to go for a long time. It's a surprise, so I'm not telling you. It's about 2 hours away from here, so I'm keeping my room here. I'm gonna go there. It's kind of in a dead end, so I'm gonna drive up there, hopefully beautiful scenery. We see what we want to see and we're back here later on this afternoon. Alright, so let's ride on. Rp50.000 ya? Rp50.000. Dari Kanada, tapi sekarang dari Surabaya. Saya tinggal di Surabaya.
Surabaya?
Ya.
Jauh.
Pelan-pelan ya. So, mau ke Bada. Satu botol berapa?
13 yang botol gini.
13 ya.
Tahu bahasa 33?
Iya. Ya. Ini. Konstruksi dulu ya. Baru selesai.
Ya, sementara masih ada.
Masih ada sedikit. Oke. Tapi bagus. Oke. Terima kasih ya.
Ya.
So today I'm traveling light. I left all my gear, actually washed my panniers and left all my gear at the hotel. So the bike is quite light. It's quite nice actually. Very nice to ride. So all I got with me right now is some food. Actually, the people from the hotel gave me some food. Apparently today is Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving in this village, what they do is they give free food to everybody. They go from house to house and they just eat all day. They get free food. So he gave me some little care bundle, some free food, some rice and all. And so that's all I've got. I've got some water. I took some tools just in case, my puncture kit as well, and a jacket in case it gets cold in the hills, and of course rain gear. So that's all I've got. So it's really nice to travel light for a change. So where we're going is a place called Bada. So Bada is it's a village or an area anyways where many years ago they discovered some megalithic statues that nobody can explain, apparently. So we're going to go and have a look at that. All right, let's ride on. Wow, what a ride. I'm loving the curves. I'm loving this road. Yeah, it's not totally paved. The old guy over there told me that, oh yeah, it's perfect. It's really nice. Well, we got a different version of what is really nice, but really enjoyable, that is, definitely. Listen to that silence. That's what I like about riding. Being able to stop somewhere and hear the silence. Selfishly, I'd like to think that the road was built only for me. There's nobody else on it. And this kind of feels that way. It's not very often that I come across other cars or motorbikes. So I'm really enjoying the ride. We're about halfway. So another hour or so and then we'll get to site number 1. Wow. I have no idea what these creatures are. But I just love the sounds of nature. All right, let's ride on. see the clouds, and I'm starting to feel a bit chilly. So I'm gonna put my jacket on. That's why I brought it. Look at this, we're above the clouds. Pretty neat. All right, jacket on. I'm becoming a really big fan of silence. All right, all geared up, nice and warm. Let's ride on. We got about, oh gosh, 40 kilometers to go. All right, let's go. This is why you can't go too fast. You never know where you're going to get one of these. megalithic statue. Ha ha ha! The Cagar Budaya Megalithic Bulu Loga. Right, so that's the monument, the Loga stone. Let's go have a look. Wow, to think this was made by people like more than 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. I don't think there's anything we built today that'll last that long. And look at the scenery. Well, it's a bit hot, but I think this is the perfect place to have a picnic. Hey little fellow, hungry? It's been a long time, eh? Let's see what I've got. I bet you I've got some rice. Yeah, oh yeah, nasi goreng. There you go. I mean, just the scenery is beautiful. You make it that much more interesting though. I mean, how many people can say that they're having lunch next to a 1,000-year-old little guy? Right? Here we go. Well, it's quite impressive being in the presence of this monument or this statue. Nobody really knows how old they are. Some people suspect they might be as much as 5,000 years old. Others say maybe 2,000 or 1,000. Fact is, they were discovered a couple hundred years ago by some Dutch who were in the area. And all that time, nobody's been able to figure out what they are for. Lots of mythologies, local mythologies about them, but nothing conclusive. There are another 3 sites in this area as far as I know, so let's go check out some other site. Alright? Goodbye, little guy. much bigger. Truly amazing, eh? Why? What is it? What's the purpose? I'm loving this. I like the fact that it's not totally taken care of. It's still a bit wild. There's an element of mystery, an element of nature as well, that I really enjoyed about this. Well, there's another complex about 2 kilometers away, 6 minutes. So let's go have a look and see what that looks like. All right, let's ride on. Nama Anda siapa?
Saya?
Ya.
Darius.
Darius, Pak Darius. Saya Jekyll.
Jekyll.
Ya, Jekyll.
Dari
Kanada?
Kan.
Tidak seperti itu ya.
Oh, dulu berapa ribu tahun sama dan di sana sete. Kalau di sana, tahu di sana.
Iya ya.
Yo, babi.
Babi?
Yo,
Oh, saya tidak lihat itu.
model babi di sana itu lewat di Badang Kaya, kampung sana.
Oke.
Ada
oke.
jalan di situ.
Oke, jauh?
Tidak, di sawah juga, di sawah.
Oh, di sawah juga. Oke.
Ada jalan di sawah.
Mungkin terlalu keras untuk saya. Ini apa?
Ini tidak tahu juga.
Nggak tahu ya?
Namanya ini. Macam begini gong.
Iya, mungkin ya. Oh ya. Oh, iya ya. This is sleeping guy. Namanya ini apa? Ada nama? Tidak ada nama. Yang tidur.
Kalau orang tua ada namanya.
Oh ya,
Kalau saya tidak tahu.
Oke. Wah, 2000 tahun yang lalu ya.
Iya. Hah?
Yeah. So this one used to be up. They stood it up, but then it fell again. So. Tapi orang tidak tahu. Ya, belum tahu. Ya, dekat dengan motor. bagus jalan ke sana? Ada bisa keluar lewat sana atau?
Bisa, cuma dari sana.
It's easier to get out over there, so I'm trying it. So it turns out I cannot go all the way there. I'm not sure what this one is. Yeah. Halo Bu, apa kabar? Yeah. I'm wondering if this is worth it. Yeah. Di sini ya?
Bukan anak-anak.
Oke.
Sering pecahannya apa?
Tidak tahu ya.
Tapi sangat bagus.
Yeah. I am with Mr. Deus, Pak Deus ini. Ya,
Tanya
Pak Deus asli dari sini juga ya?
asli.
Yeah. Like we are in the middle of the valley. Look at this. All right. Time to go back home. My motorbike fell. Pak Deus, biasanya saya ada. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Pak. Okay, take care, yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Berarti lama nanti di Tentena. Agak waktunya.
Besok pagi saya pergi. Sudah di jalan besok pagi.
Makassar.
Mari-mari Pak ya. Alright, so I just hope I can find my way back to the main road. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, here we go. All right, we're on the road. So yeah, Fadeus tells me that it's really tough to work the fields because there's so many of these stones throughout the fields, makes it really tough. Nobody knows where they come from, when. Lots of speculations, but lots of local folklore around them. But nobody's really sure about the true origin. Alright, now the story is to make it back to my hotel 2 hours away before nightfall. So let's try to make it there. We'll be leaving right now. So it's now about 3 o'clock. So I got 2 hours before 5 o'clock. I should be fine before nightfall. I'll take my time, and because it's a tough road and there's no choice, this is dead end, so the only way out is the way I came in. So that's what we're doing. All right, let's ride on. Hello. I just realized that my fuel gauge is flashing. I got about 60 kilometers to do. Well, maybe 50 before I see some gas. Can I do it? I think so. I should be fine. It's just that with the hills and all, sometimes the fuel gets at the bottom of the tank. But it all comes down to, do I feel lucky? Well, I feel lucky. So we're going to chance it. I'm not going back to the town here to get some fuel from a bottle. So we're going to chance it. It's starting to be a bit chilly, even though the sun is out. So I'm just making sure that I'm nice and warm before I hit the clouds. All right, let's ride on. Alright, I was telling you earlier I felt lucky. Well, I feel lucky, very lucky. I'm almost at the end of this journey because I just lost my rear brake. Not sure what happened. No reaction at all. So, yeah. Doesn't seem to be a leak. So, yeah, I'm going to have to take it easy all the way to town. I'm about, I'd say about 20 kilometers away. I'm almost at the end of these hills, so I'll take it easy. Need to rely on my front brake. I hope that doesn't let go. Anyways, let's hope everything goes well. I'm going to leave it at this today. I hope you enjoyed the journey. To me, you might think that that's a long drive just to see a couple of rocks, but to me it's really special to be able to be there in the presence of this real life mystery. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe. Click like, write me a comment, tell me what you think, okay? I do hope we do meet on the road at some point. And until we do, like they say around here, sampai jumpa lagi. Cheers. Well, it looks like I do have some rear brake. Don't know what happened earlier. I'll have a check tomorrow.